Yo, what is up guys? It's Pedro here, and yesterday the Washington Commanders signed defensive back Dejaun Neal, former XFL and USFL player. So we're going to talk about that in today's video. If you guys are new, make sure to subscribe for Washington and NFL content. We are so close to 8,000 subscribers, so please help me get there. Also hit that like button and turn on those notifications so you never miss a video. Now let's get right into it. And if you guys hear any background noise, I'm on vacation, so that is why. But real quick, let's start off with some background information, and then I'll get into highlights and things like that. So like I said, defensive back Dejaun Neal agreed to terms with the Commanders per their agent. This is from John Keim, and was an XFL player, USFL, and played college football at Shepherd. So great story there for him, and he gets a chance to compete for a 53-man roster spot at a position where their top three guys are solid, especially with some upside there. But their next guys are they have some questions at depth after Kendall Fuller, William Jackson III, and Benjamin St. Juste. Like after that, it's really who knows. I mean, I think Christian Holmes has a good chance to make the roster, maybe Danny Johnson as well, but you really don't know for that fifth and sixth cornerback spot, in my opinion. So some more information on him. Had a brief stop with Washington in 2019 before playing in the USFL and XFL. But of course, 2019 Washington was, Ron Rivera was not with Washington. So, this comment right here says sign someone you haven't coached before. Ron Rivera wasn't on that staff in 2019. But whatever, doesn't really matter. Just something I thought I should point out. And then, so let's see. I'll read this tweet from a guy who was watching him at the USFL, making him the second USFL player to sign in the NFL. Neal was often injured this season, but was a strong performer for New Jersey when healthy. And here's a quick highlight from him. Nothing major, but I wanted to show it. We'll go there. We'll just leave it like that. But he makes a nice tackle in the backfield. But, nothing crazy with Dejaun Neal. I think that at best, he probably is that last corner on the roster. But realistically, he's competing for a practice squad spot. When you're signed this late in the season, it's just hard to make a roster unless you're a vet, a guy that's been in the league for a while. Like if Washington signed A.J. Klein, he's going to make the roster. If they sign someone like, Anthony Barr or a guy like that, you pretty much know they're going to make the roster. But a guy like this, where they really, he hasn't played in the NFL before, he was on a roster for a little bit before they actually made cuts, but that is it. So he doesn't really have NFL experience. I really don't see anything with this signing. Probably practice squad at best. Who knows? Maybe Dejaun Neal could surprise us, but I just don't see it. It's just going to be really hard for him to do at this point. But some more information, and shout out Ryan Fowler for all this information. He said Dejaun Neal's about 6 foot, 190 pounds, and we talked about that, first bullet point right there. Here in a 4.5, 440 yard dash, so that's, pretty solid. Anything under 4.6 is pretty good for a corner, and had a 37.5 inch vertical jump at the pro day, which is also very solid as well, and is going to compete with Danny Johnson, Corn Elder, and Najeel Hill for some depth. So that's kind of what I said. At best he makes the roster as that last corner, but more likely than not, he's going to be competing for the practice squad. And this year, I think it's going to be a little bit harder for some of these guys to make the practice squad, just because they have a lot more undrafted free agents this year. Like the first couple years under Ron Rivera, they had I think the first year maybe a few, and then last year they had one in Jarrett Patterson, and then this year they have like 15 plus. So it's going to be harder for some of these guys to make the practice squad, where last year like Jarrett Patterson was basically guaranteed practice squad or better. Obviously he made the roster, but if he didn't, he would have easily been able to, if another team didn't pick him up, make the practice squad. But this year, the undrafted free agents, not all of them are going to make the practice squad because there's a limited amount of spots. So real quick, we're going to go into highlights. Nothing special. I'll probably just do 30, 45 seconds here, and then we'll get into the outro. Alright, so those were his highlights. Nothing crazy, but just wanted you guys to see it because I know some people are curious. And I forgot to say it earlier, or maybe I didn't, but if I did, he is a Maryland native, so another DMV guy. So yeah, that's it for today's video. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed, and peace.